Welcome into the Press Box Fantasy Football Show. Glenn Clark, Kyle Ottenheimer, and of course the star of the program, the lovely and talented Mr. Ken Zalis, who is with us for the final time in the 2019 season, as it is championship week in fantasy football. How many titles you playing for, pal?
Only 3 this year.
What a bum. You're terrible.
It's horrible.
I'm playing for 2. And I don't know what I'm doing.
For
2 weeks ago was terrible.
Oh, right, yeah,
horrible.
bloodbath. Yeah, bloodbath of a week. Yeah, no doubt
eliminated
about that.
in 8 leagues all at one time.
The Press Box Fantasy Football Show is brought to you by Smythe Jewelers. She is the perfect fit, your fantasy draft pick for all time. But can you close the deal? Well, the answer is yes when you have the coaches at Smythe Jewelers. Smythe Jewelers, let the end zone dance commence. Ken, the first question I have for you, are we really trying to win fantasy football championships with Breshad Perriman this week?
We are.
It's so crazy.
We are.
How the hell has this happened?
He happens to play in an offense right now that is really, really good throwing the football, and it hasn't mattered who's been there. They're completing passes. I mean, if you look at the situation the last couple of weeks, they lose, Mike Evans during a game, and Breshad Perriman steps in and catches a touchdown pass. Godwin goes out in a game, and something named Scotty Miller catches a touchdown pass.
Yep.
Justin Watson catches 5 balls for 60 yards, and now, and Perriman goes for 2 touchdowns, and now they have a matchup against the Houston Texans, who, by the way, are not very good against the pass. And, you got Perriman and Justin Watson sitting out there. O.J. Howard, they say they're going to have to, if you believe the coaches, which I don't, they're going to get the running backs and tight ends more involved because they're really thin at wide receiver. But, yeah, I mean, Perryman's right outside my top 12 this week based on what he's done the last 2 weeks.
What about the other guys you just mentioned? What about the Justin Watsons? What about the Scotty
They're
Millers?
right?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, Scotty Miller is gone, so we don't have to worry about him.
Okay.
He caught his touchdown pass, and it seems like right now the last couple of weeks, don't catch touchdown passes because you pull your hammy apparently in Tampa when you do that. So he's gone. So
Perryman's never been injured, so that's good.
He's good. He's good. He's good.
Look, he's going to win people championships.
I know.
I picked him up in both leagues. I used my number 1 waiver claim I've been holding all year long on Breshad Perriman.
Finally dropped Gordon for him, right?
2019 time.
I've been for Josh Gordon. That's my team name. It's worked.
Okay. So look, this is one of the 3 situations that we have that we didn't expect to be in. But yeah, I'm all in on him. The matchups there, the targets are going to be there.
What about Justin Watson?
In a PPR, I can use Justin Watson. I really can.
I don't even know really what he is.
Is he a golfer? Is he not a golfer?
No, that's Bubba. And
Justin Thomas or whatever.
Thomas,
Scott.
Bubba Watson, Justin.
They're all golfers.
Scotty Miller. It's the whole golf team. Watson's a really, I liked him as a prospect. I believe he's the kid out of Penn. He's got some quicks to him. He's really good route runner. He's a decent player. And again, we're talking. It's the situation we're in. I mean, they're playing a team that can just be thrown against constantly. I mean, Breshad Perriman, for everything we know about him in Baltimore, he can run.
Yeah.
He's got Joseph, who's 35 years old, covering him. He's not keeping up with him.
No, he's not a golfer.
No, Jonathan Joseph is not a golfer. Nailed that.
All
right.
So yeah, we are.
All right, we're riding with that. What about the Minnesota situation?
Coach Mike Zimmer said Alexander Madison ankle has a good chance to suit up on Monday night against the Packers. This is not what we want to hear.
You were hoping this was going to be Mike Boone.
I was hoping. They're talking. We'll see. He hasn't really practiced yet. I mean,
how much does the Monday night timing of it mess things up further?
It's huge. I mean, unless unless you have
definitive,
you don't know. I mean, Cook's not going to play. Let's put it that way. I of all the things here, which just kills me because I've been riding him all year
same
long.
Boat that I'm in.
Cook is not going to play. So if you have Madison and Boone, you wait it out and you see how they practice. And
worst case scenario is they both play.
But you have to have both.
Worst case scenario is exactly what it looks like right now with Madison, quote unquote, likely to play. And
but this is a different scenario.
Right
you're talking about a scenario you have both of them. If you individually own one of them and not the other,
you gotta go with somebody that plays before them. It's too risky. I mean, the only risk to me worth taking here is on the Boone side. I think he has a role no matter what. If Madison starts, Madison is not going to get a full workload. He probably, with the way Boone played last week, is not going to be the goal line guy. So you have some upside, 10, 12 touches with maybe a touchdown. It's also not the greatest matchup in the world. It's not a terrible matchup. It's tough if you only have one. If you're holding on to Madison and Cook, and that's your choice because you've been holding on to that tandem all year long. If you're a Cook owner, you got to go safer, and you got to look somewhere else. Somebody that you know is going to play, because as we all know, you can't take that
no,
risk.
You can't go into Monday night, right?
You can't go into Monday night with no hope. So it's a sucky way because it is the Monday night game, but the best thing for fantasy owners is that Cook is definitively out. We don't see Madison practice in full Saturday, and then we feel pretty good about Boone and maybe even, if you're desperate, an Abdullah in a PPR type situation. I know.
I didn't know that was still a thing.
But here we are.
Wow, Amir Abdullah. Holy crap. I had no idea. All right, KZ is in studio with us. It's the Press Box Fantasy Football Show. If you've got questions, get them in right now at Glenn Clark Radio on Twitter. We will get to them in our second segment. KZ, the other big injury concern this week, of course, being Dak Prescott. What is the situation there?
I mean, he's going to play. I don't think that there's any situation that in a must-win, can rest Dak Prescott next week if they win type situation that he doesn't play. As long as he practices in some fashion on Friday, we're okay.
And there's no trepidation there. You're definitely playing Dak Prescott.
Against Philly, yeah. I mean, we've been waiting.
You're not scared at all of their commitment to Zeke?
No, not against Philly.
Yeah.
Not against Philly. No, it's. I mean, Zeke's going to. Let's not pretend Zeke's not going to get touches, but we're going to throw the ball 30 times against the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, there are quarterbacks that I'm more scared of that are healthier because of their situations this week than Dak Prescott. And we've gone through. I mean, look, we were all scared with Jameis Winston last week. Couldn't throw a football, was throwing tennis balls until Friday. Gripped the football, and look what that turned into.
Posted 1,000 points.
I mean, so it's
at 500 yards in the first half.
Thank goodness that the NFL gets this right. And I know they don't do it for our benefit, but that there's no Thursday games.
And championship week.
In the last 2 weeks of the fantasy playoffs, because it's just it makes things a little bit easier, because you can be, I know we get lots of questions, but most of the questions I've answered this week so far, but remember, we're looking to tomorrow and we're looking to Saturday in the case of the Monday night game of are people practicing and things like that. We don't have to make these crazy decisions based on, Dak Prescott is hurt. My only other quarterback is playing on Thursday night. What do I do? We don't have to make that decision. Now, you may have to make that decision on a Saturday, but you'll know if he practiced on Friday.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I don't know. This is championship week, dog. Like I get
it's
a
championship
little.
week. If your studs play, you play them. I mean, we see it all the time. We get kind of scared, and I get kind of scared at certain things.
I played Laird 2 times last week, and it didn't bury me, and I dropped him in both. I'm not going to be anywhere close to tinkering the amount that I did.
And that's the thing. I mean, the article I put out on PressBox Online was kind of like Week 16 advice for everybody. It's like, if there are guys that Laird's a perfect guy. I don't want to play him, but if he's on my roster, do I start thinking about it? Just drop him. Don't get that decision off of your plate.
And just that.
Yeah, get yourself a backup kicker. You need one of those championship week.
You know what? I mean, somebody. I told this to somebody. He's like, "Well, my only quarterback is Lamar Jackson. Should I pick up a backup quarterback?" And I said, "Yes." I said, crazy things happen. Not that I would ever, I only have Patrick Mahomes. Well, Patrick Mahomes walks down the street and steps on a nail. He's not playing Sunday. I don't have another quarterback. Go pick. Your fourth running back that you're not playing this week should not be on your roster this week anymore. Your handcuff, I did this in a week. Your handcuff for Christian McCaffrey, Bonifant, or whatever his name is, should not be on your roster anymore. We've made it through. Yeah. We've made it through that situation.
Yeah, if you were holding that handcuff in Minnesota.
But you should have never dropped that one. But that's why you hold on to him. But this is the week that if I'm not my kicker, I don't need the extra defenses this week. I don't need to hold on to 17 defenses like
I just dropped the Niners defense because I'm not going to use them.
I'm not going to use them.
So Minnesota's
picked
defense.
up Boone because I don't want my opponent to use
exactly.
them.
Make blocks.
Boone was available.
Yeah.
Still,
people are stupid
crazy.
in your league. Jesus.
So I'll tell you. I know you got to take a break. I'll tell you the dumbest thing that has ever happened in fantasy football.
All right, hang on a second. Need groceries today, but don't have time to shop. Order online with same-day pickup or delivery at Wise Markets. Wise to go online. Now that's convenient. Now tell me about that.
So I'm in a championship game, and I own Dalvin Cook, and I own Madison. All year I've had them locked in. This Boone thing comes out of nowhere last week. I have the number 2 claim for the week. My opponent has the number 3 claim of the week. I'm like, fantastic. Put in my claim for Boone. Wake up on Wednesday morning. I don't have Boone. I'm like,
did you put in for some other guy named Boone?
No, I don't have a Boone on my roster. I'm like looking, and I'm like, what? My opponent doesn't have Boone. Who the heck has Boone? The 15th place team.
Good for him. Good for him for still competing. I'm against this. Good for him.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Good for him for not just
picked up Boone because he wants to beat the person he's playing this week.
When you yell, you're supposed to move away from him.
I don't care. Oh, my God. And he's a friend of mine. I was like, I emailed him. I emailed him, and I was like, what the heck are you doing?
Just gonna let you roll to a championship without anybody still being competitive?
He's like,
not gonna let that happen.
He's like, I have to win this week. I'm playing
Is he in the toilet bowl?
I don't know what
bowl.
Well,
that's a significant difference.
There's nothing to it in our league. There's no penalty. There's no why?
It's pride.
Oh my
it's
God.
pride.
He just hates you.
He's a prideful human being. He doesn't want to finish
the
in
next
last
time
place.
I see him, I am going to kill him.
There's a pride.
If I lose this championship because I literally
you hear that, police.
Oh my God! Yes. You should show up. I can tell you where it's going to happen too. Oh my God!
You are really worked up about this.
Oh, I'm so mad.
I'm on his side. I just need you to know that. I'm on his side.
No,
he's competing. He is still trying.
He's like, I played to the end. I was like, what are you playing for?
This is like,
why is it
you ever root for a team that needs another team to lose in order to get into the playoffs?
And
then you watch that team.
This is the championship week. Why are you screwing
I appreciate that.
I've picked up so many people to block my opponent.
Block is fine, but you're in the game.
I'm
That's
aware.
a different thing.
See, I made the mistake of I used my first waiver wire on a defense this week, just because I didn't like my matchups. And so
Who didn't you pick up because of that?
Oh, Boone. Yeah, that's the. I screwed up and I forgot. No. Somebody had already picked up Boone. Somebody got Boone last week. I didn't get Perriman because of it. I didn't get Perriman because
I currently have
opponent
Perriman, Anthony Miller, and Boone on my bench.
By the way, this is the surefire sign now that Perryman's going off this week.
Oh, that he's going up against me? There's no doubt about that.
There's no doubt in the world.
No doubt that's going to play out.
Especially because you blew the way you did it.
And I just made a stupid side bet, too, on the championship. This is our buddy Mark, who chimes in a good bit. He came in and got drunk with us on Drunk Tank Day last year. And we made a side bet that one of us is going to have to eat a ghost pepper. I'm like, why would I? I'm looking at his team like, you're going to kick my ass.
And you don't even like spicy food, really, do you?
Yeah, you know me. I'm not a big fan. He's got Drew Brees, Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm getting my ass handed, and I just lost Dalvin Cook. Like, why would I ever make this bet? This is the dumbest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
By the way, I want to send a personal thank you out to Saquon Barkley for finally showing up this season.
It's nice that he decided
I appreciate it that you waited until last week because I really needed it with Cook leaving me in the first quarter last week, and your timing was impeccable. And you have a great matchup this week.
Real quick, one more generic one. Gerald Everett now back in the mix with the Rams tight end situation.
Such a buzzkill. He should go away. Such a buzzkill.
Like quit
it's
life?
A buzzkill. I mean, he's not going to put up near the numbers that Higbee was putting up. 300-yard games in a row, and now you can't use either one of them.
Well,
I like it.
So that's your answer is you can't play either one?
No.
You could if you are scraping the bottom of the barrel.
And they play San Francisco.
Well, yeah, that doesn't help.
At San Francisco.
So find something else.
Find something else. I hope that it's one of these, never mind.
All right. I'm
not going to put it out to you.
When we come back in, we will set your lineups. Get your questions in right now at Glenn Clark Radio on Twitter. This is the Press Box Fantasy Football Show with Ken Zalis.
Dating was hard, but ring shopping was harder. Settings, cuts, color, we were overwhelmed. Then her friend sent us to Smythe. Total game changer. They took the time to show us the ropes. We left with this perfect ring. She still can't take her eyes off it. I'm actually excited to go back for the wedding bands. But don't tell her I said that.
Why is Smythe Jewelers where Marilyn gets engaged? Our collection is hand-selected and comes with a friendly face to help you find the perfect ring for your perfect partner.
Catch all of the action at your neighborhood Glory Days Grill, where we have tons of TVs to catch every moment of every game. Enjoy $6.99 burgers on Mondays, $5.99 nachos on Thursdays, and drink specials throughout the season to help you cheer on your favorite teams. Come in today and try something new from our seasonal menu. Glory Days Grill, great food, good sports.
Need groceries today but don't have time to shop? Order online with same-day pickup or delivery at Wise Markets. Wise to go online. Now that's convenient.
From the Live Casino Hotel Studio, it is the Pressbox Fantasy Football Show with Ken Zalis. All right, KZ, we will start with me. He played like crap last week, but it's really hard. I've basically been playing musical quarterbacks for the last month and a half. Mm-hmm. It is really hard for me to not think that the answer this week for me is Drew Lock as my quarterback. My options are Jared Goff, Tom Brady, or the following players on the waiver wire. Oh, good. They won't refresh right now. I guess let me just start. Like, am I crazy just among those three options to think the answer is Drew Lock?
He's my answer. He's my highest ranked of those three. I like Drew Lock this week. It was funny before I came in here. We were talking. He's my DFS quarterback this week. He's playing well, and he's got the second best matchup on the board against the Lions. Yeah. I mean, I fire him up.
Drew Lock in the championship.
I mean, I'm considering
the best option is Mitch Trubisky.
So I have Trubisky slightly over Lock, but I think Lock has the higher boom in him. The safety. I think Trubisky, because he's starting to run the ball a little bit, is the only reason I have him as a little bit of a safer floor.
Right.
But I like Lock a lot. I like him a bunch this week.
All right.
I really do. I would, if you think you're the underdog in your matchup, then I'm rolling out Drew Lock.
I'm facing Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott, and Drew Brees.
I can't keep track of you.
Yeah.
Then go.
This is my league.
Go for the upside. Go Drew Lock.
My running back situation, unfortunately, because Dalvin Cook got hurt, I'm going to again be forced to go back to the effing well with Alvin Kamara, which is the most infuriating thing that's ever happened in the history of fantasy football. So where I'm at is I've got
bold claim. I don't know if that's true.
I've got Kamara, Miles Sanders, Austin Eckler. I assume that I'm starting all three of those guys, but I would think Kamara is the third of the three at this point.
I mean, he's so frustrating. I mean, I have him ranked as the highest of those three.
How?
Because it's Thursday. I mean, Because he's Alvin Kamara.
He used to be. He used to be Alvin Kamara. That used to mean something.
Well, you're starting
around
all
here.
three, so it doesn't matter.
Well,
what
the
order I
only
have
question
it
being,
in.
so let's go to wide receiver, where right now I've got Tyler Lockett and A.J. Brown
Which
as
is
my
fine.
starters.
I
The options that I have would be Kareem Hunt could be a flex over one of those guys, and T.Y. Hilton could be an option.
T.Y. Hilton's not an option.
Then on the guys that are available right now, Justin Watson is available, DeAndre Washington's available, Boston Scott's available, Greg Ward is available.
First of all, DeAndre Washington needs to be owned.
Okay, well, I will pick him up and I
Okay.
will drop Tom Brady.
Okay, that's fine.
Or I'll drop Jared Goff. I'm not playing him this
You're
week.
not playing either one of them. Washington's interesting.
Over Kamara?
He's interesting. I mean, it would take some guts to do it, but I'm not mad about it. It's tough. I wrote this week. It's tough. If he was Joe Smith, we wouldn't be having this conversation because we wouldn't have that he scored 18 touchdowns last year and he's only scored 2, and we keep on waiting, and it hasn't happened. So the floor is higher with DeAndre Washington. The floor is actually safer with Kareem Hunt.
You're not really selling me on why I should be playing Alvin Kamara.
I'm not trying to sell you. I'm trying to give you
well, you
all
said
the...
that you had him ranked the highest.
I do.
So you've given me 3 different answers.
I know.
You've told me the best floor, the best boom, and the best.
So here's the thing. The other two, even though they have the better floors, they do have more risk than Kamara. The one thing you do have with Kamara in a PPR is he's still getting targets and he's still catching footballs. So you have that 3 to 5, 6 catch, 30-yard floor with 6 points in a PPR right away. And what's he been getting? 40, 50 yards on the ground. So, we're in a PPR, we're somewhere around 15 points. Again, you're behind. I would probably play Washington and go for the boom.
Christ, this is unbelievable.
I would go for the boom of it. Eckler and Sanders, good situations, no problem starting those guys. They're in my top 15. Kamara right now is going to be in my top 12. I don't know if he winds up that place.
I'm such a jerk.
Why?
When you were talking about Washington, I was like, all right, let me just double check. He's out there.
Yeah.
So I picked him up, right? And this is where I have 6 receivers on my bench, now 5. I dropped Anthony Miller, and I just put in a waiver claim because I double-checked to make sure I'm ahead of my opponent for Anthony Miller to drop DeAndre Washington to get him on waivers so he can't be played.
Okay, it's too much information.
Jesus, man. You need help.
Well, it worked, huh?
You need help.
It'll work.
You need help.
It'll work.
All right, and then finally, I'm assuming I'm gonna have to think on that.
It's a lot.
I have to sleep on that decision. When do these guys play? When does DeAndre? They both play on Sunday, right? Yeah, they both play
Sunday. Yeah.
And
I mean, Washington is right there in that RB2 area.
This is unbelievable.
Guaranteed a lot of touches.
He is.
And then give me. I'm assuming I'm playing the Broncos defense, so even over the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Bills just feel like they're being underrated, but the turnover potential, I guess, isn't as high in the sack
It
potential.
isn't,
Yeah.
and I mean, you're playing a rookie. You're at home in the
Blau certainly didn't.
Blau,
wow last week,
it's not. Denver's not an easy place to go to for the first time and play. So, Denver. I have Denver in the top 4 this week.
All right, Kyle, go ahead.
All right. I have Sutton currently and Hopkins playing.
Of course.
Would you play Perryman over Sutton?
No.
Cool. Would you play Miles Sanders over everybody named Galladay, Tyler Boyd, Michael Gallup, McLaurin, Perryman, Boone, and Washington? I have Miles Sanders currently in my flex.
Half PPR?
Yeah.
Nah, probably. Safest guy. As long as we don't. The only thing that would mess that up is if somehow, some way, Howard is active this
Which
week.
it does not appear.
It doesn't appear it's going to be,
right.
but no, I would go with the 25 touches, and those are a good group of wide receivers who have decent matchups this week. But yeah. No.
Okay, my other league, Perryman is the play over Boone, Boston Scott, Emmanuel Sanders, and Robbie Anderson, right?
Yes.
Weird. Okay. That's all I got.
All right, very good. Let's get to some listener questions from John in Little Rock. He just wants you to confirm that he's John, you're playing Mark Andrews over Tyler Higbee. We already,
it's not with Everett back. You can't.
PPR: Terry McLaurin, Robert Woods, or Tyler Lockett. By the way, the fact that Tyler Lockett's been productive again guarantees this is going to be another week where I'm just going to want to blow my brains out.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Well, they could run all day.
Give me the first one.
McLaurin,
although Gordon
Woods,
being out helps.
or Lockett.
McLaurin, Woods, or Lockett. Lockett.
Okay.
Gordon being out.
Yeah,
helps
it certainly helps.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. This one, PPR: Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, Mike Boone, James White. Start one as a running back, one as a flex. Well, I know somebody that you're going to say to start.
It's always James White. No. So we're starting Jones for sure, just because of the workload. And then it was who and White?
Eckler, Boone, and White.
Eckler.
Wow, you know what you just said?
Over James White?
Yeah, you just said don't start James White.
The matchup's so much better.
I think
but it's James White.
I know, but
you don't think they're just going to be like, oh, well, you can't let him throw to Edelman.
Hey, did you listen to yesterday's show by chance?
I didn't.
Okay, all right, just wondering.
Was there a reason for that question?
No, unrelated. It's something that I wanted to bring up with you later. But
okay, we can bring it up later.
All right. The awful wide receiver guy checks in.
Oh, okay.
Awful wide receiver guy.
I love this guy.
Tyler Boyd, Will Fuller, Chris Conley, Tyrell Williams, Robbie Anderson, Zach Pascal. Waiver wire needs 3.
Eesh. 3?
How the hell is this guy playing for a championship?
I know. He must have like McCaffrey.
How in the hell is this guy?
The biggest
you know what he does?
Like
He went. He's got Kelsey. He's got like Kelsey or Ertz. He's got Lamar as his quarterback.
Yeah.
And he's got McCaffrey.
And so it just doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
You got to imagine who else is in this league, right?
Okay.
That you're somehow winning this league.
I know.
It's me! It's been me all along!
Okay.
It's in your league, by the way. I'm playing for a championship in your league with these crap wide receivers. It's me versus Gary Stein.
Why do you do this in the?
Because I was trying to do a build. I was trying to do a slow build.
It's technically
to this
like
moment.
patting Casey on the back.
Yeah, right.
It's like you've done so well telling me which.
Yeah, he's managed somehow to get me through with these crap wide receivers all year.
Okay, so Boyd is one for sure.
By the way, what's available is Greg Ward, Danny Amendola, Marcus Johnson.
Yeah, we're not doing that. So we're going Boyd.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the?
The list is Fuller.
Okay, Boyd and Fuller play.
So then my other options are Conley, Tyrell, Robbie Anderson, and Pascal. Dog, playing for a championship.
So bad.
Playing for a championship in this league. I don't know who already had Breshad.
You would probably
Perriman.
stab someone for one of my 7 receivers.
I would do anything. Yeah. I don't know how I'm in this position. By the way, my team is not nearly as good as you think it is.
No.
I've got McCaffrey and nothing else.
Oh, well.
I've got Aaron Rodgers, who has been the suck of late. I've got. I do have Kittle, who's fine, but like, it's
how am I
fine.
not in the championship in this league?
By the way,
over this?
10 and not only am I in the championship, I went 10-3.
Is this the one where I was like 1 and 11?
I don't know.
Because I had one league where I didn't do well.
You know what? Of that group, I'm going to say as long as Chark is out, it's Conley.
Okay. All right. He did a nice week last week.
He did.
A nice week last week.
You're
I was
welcome.
appreciative of that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Crap wide receiver guy. From Dave wants to know Devontae Freeman or Kareem Hunt?
Freeman. Another bounce back. Good matchup for him.
And then from Joe, Miles Sanders or DeAndre Washington? Wait, Sanders, right?
Yeah, it's Sanders. I mean, as long as, like I said, as long as Howard is still...
Just because he's actually available in this league. I've got Freeman in Washington. You're still going Freeman over...
Freeman who?
Devontae Freeman.
He's available?
No, I've got him in that same crap league.
No,
I've got him. You're playing him over DeAndre Washington?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just trying to make sure.
Yeah.
I need to tell everybody about Glory Days Grill. Catch all the action at your neighborhood Glory Days Grill, where they have tons of TVs to catch every moment of every game. Glory Days Grill, great food, good sports. Tommy, this is a generic question. Tommy wants to know, hey, I know this is going to sound crazy, but can you ask Ken for help with trying to find some points from a kicker this week? I played Badgley most of the season.
I don't know who's out there. I mean, if somehow Bailey or Koo are available, I have those guys having multiple opportunities this week.
Right.
If you think that the Patriots, if Folk somehow is out there, if the Patriots struggle to get in the end zone against Buffalo, he may kick a bunch of field goals. But, I mean, I have Badgley as my 11th kicker this week. So, I mean.
You could just play Badgley is what you're saying.
Well, I mean.
You try to do better. But
Koo's been kicking well, and Atlanta's been putting up some points. So, I would tell you that, I've seen Koo would be the guy I would pick up.
Oh, real quick. Would you play Justin Watson over Chris Conley?
No.
Okay.
He's a golfer, Glenn.
Well, he was really excited about Justin Watson.
No,
when we
he's a
started
good
the
player.
show.
I mean, he's
He was
a
super
good
excited
opportunity.
about Justin Watson when we started this whole thing, and now all
I
of
like
a sudden,
guys that I wrote articles about that finally play well.
All right. Ben from San Francisco.